Okay, cosplay is taking the character you enjoy and becoming them. To do cosplay, I like to draw out the character first, like on a piece of paper. It's easier to visualize and get the pieces I want for the costume that way. You got any?
I have a lot of friends that actually do the same thing. Sometimes they'll draw it, and sometimes they'll kind of start from scratch. And just, oh, I got a piece here. Let me put it on my chest, see how it looks, and then don't look. They'll change it and do something else. That's been always my fear, is always messing up and not knowing how to correct myself. So I like the drawing part that you're bringing up. I like that.
Yeah, it's a combination of costume and play. It's a chance for people to dress up and play something outside of themselves. Any questions? Okay, cosplay history. It started as a Renaissance and Scottish festivals. The Society for Creative Activism, SCA, founded in 1966, is a non-profit educational corporation that has over 30,000 paid members. There are tournaments and weekly meetings on each barony, and each barony is each section of the United States, and it covers the whole United States. Then the same year, the earliest known Star Trek presence was September 1 through 5th, 1966. It's called the Tricon World Science Fiction Convention in Cleveland, Ohio. And people dressed up as their favorite character in that one. Well, you go into deciding your character. You pick out a character you like from movies, TVs, books, video games, anime, and anything else.
Original characters too, you make your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Generally, I would suggest going with a character. Generally, I would suggest going with a character that would be easy to meld with your own personality. I've been Snow White since 9 a.m. this morning, and I'm fine. So when the character's personality is not something that is completely foreign, it's helpful.
I like that. Also, I do Shaggy, like I said earlier. I like Shaggy. I grew up on Scooby-Doo, but it's a very simple costume. It's like brown or black boots, some brown, brown pants, flared up at the end, and a green T-shirt. And I actually made a mistake. I actually went out and got a nurse's, trying to get that V cut, and they didn't like how it looked on me. So I actually found a T-shirt that kind of had the same feel. But Shaggy's kind of skinny, so I'm kind of a big Shaggy. I ain't Scooby, I'm sorry. But yeah, I do Shaggy from time to time.
And I was just Master Chief of Halo about 5 minutes ago, and I changed into Aquaman. But we've got lots of different characters. I started out with steampunk, and did steampunk for many years. Then my daughters got me to change over into separate characters from different other people. It's been a fun journey. We started out with steampunk together. And it can be as simple as you always want to dress like a particular character, or it could be people over the years telling you resemble a character. Like, I look like Shaggy.
I'm that bad looking?
No, Shaggy's cool.
Shaggy's the only sane one.
Okay, repurposing clothing, like you might have some clothes in your closet that will work for that character, and you just repurpose it for that. Items you already have. You get used from eBay, Goodwill, or resale shops. Goodwill is where I find a lot of stuff. And you don't have to pay the full price that you would. Like some costumes can go over $100 to buy them outright, but if you go to the Goodwill store, you can pay like $5 for a shirt, $4 for a pair of pants.
I like to
find. Yeah, and sew it. You can sew it and look at patterns. Like earlier, I saw a girl with trying to do Doctor Who, and she had these long lapels on, and it was just a regular shirt with extra lapels put on it. It was a really good idea. Amazon has decent prices for stuff. We get a lot of our wigs off Amazon.
Yeah. This one.
$22 shipping.
How much were you guys?
No, I'm not.
I don't remember. I tried to get them less than 20. I found it at the house. It was yours.
That's always cheaper.
But it was really gross, so you had to like wash it, brush it a lot, style it.
Wow.
It was.
They tangle easily.
Oh yeah. You always have to brush them really good, otherwise and look up tutorials for how to do some stuff, otherwise you'll mess it up.
And mine looks
Leave-in
really messy.
conditioner, spray and leave-in conditioner works wonders.
Yeah.
Laundry softener.
That's what I did.
Yes.
So laundry softener, and then rinse it out really good.
I don't know.
You just,
I did it once, and I don't remember it for that one. Just look up stuff online for it. Another good source.
making your costume, YouTube videos are great. And a lot of times they have patterns for you. If you want to sew something up and you know how to sew, it's actually just putting two pieces of material together and putting it through a machine. Sewing isn't really hard. You just have to figure out how the machine runs and ending that, getting the end pieces right.
I mean,
You
sewing
got
can
something
be
to say?
Yeah, sewing can be hard.
Yes, it can.
Depends on what pattern
If you
you're
want to
trying
do
to do.
complicated
Depends on what
stuff,
sewing pattern you're using.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and the material.
If you want to do simple stuff, then you can like learn to sew simple stuff. But if you want to do like really complicated, intricate stuff, you're gonna.
I'd say for beginning stuff, just try doing hand sewing, you know, simple stuff. Attaching two basic things together at the seam and whatnot. You know, making capes and whatnot. Doing like capes and ponchos and stuff are a good place to start for beginners.
Alterations can also be
Yeah.
when
Yeah, just do the small
I had
things.
to split the sleeves and we ordered this one and the arm holes were like this and I'm like, yeah, no way. My wrist barely, like my forearm barely went through the sleeve, so I was like, okay, time to get creative.
When you guys talk about the wigs, when you're not using them after you brush them, get you some big Ziploc bags. It keeps the dust off. So you can pack them away nice and neat. So when you're ready to use them, you ain't have to go through a lot of stuff, untangling them from all the other stuff and the dust bunnies or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I have mine in like a netting that it comes in and then usually in the net after once it's in the netting it's put it out.
Yeah, that's good.
And go into patterns. So if you have a pattern for foam, you want to make some armor, it's the same thing as sewing. You cut the pattern out in paper, put it on the foam, cut it out that way, and that's how you make like his costume here, the black costume that John's wearing, and the armor at the end there, and even this is made out of wood and foam. Foam is a great medium. Make things look a lot thicker and better than. There's Warbula too.
Yeah, Warbula's pretty good.
I haven't used it yet. I just
I
ordered some.
haven't experimented with Warbula. I mostly like using UVA foam though.
Yeah, I've seen some Warbula come out really nice. Yeah.
It is more expensive, but especially for female armor, trying to get the contours right, it's very hard.
It can get really good form to it. I've seen a lot of good stuff with that.
Yeah, I was thinking helmets too. Now, other cosplayers like wait till after Halloween sales and buy their costumes on the rack. and you can do that, but for the most part, we like to create our own. Yeah.
I mean, if you buy it online
Rough
for
sketch
something
it
that's
out.
really complicated, then because I know that you want to
I've
do
done
like
the Halloween thing. And, I'm in the process of trying to do a Joker.
Trying to do Spider-Man.
Kind of a mixture between Heath Ledger and then of course Jack Nicholson. So some of the props I found real cheap right after Halloween, so that was real nice. So like he was saying, whatever you can find cheap and get it somewhere cheap, that's the way to start.
Yes, start that way, and then I would always be able to, you know, customize something, even if it's store-bought. You can always find a way.
Oh yeah. And in the Star Wars community, what we call the Big Three, they have actually the whole idea of the 3D printer is a lifesaver from the simplest of props to the biggest of guns that they can put together. If you find somebody that's got a 3D printer, be their friend. They're going to help you out a lot.
Unfortunately, my husband just bought a 3D printer, and
What's his name?
Mike. He had it out of the box for less than half an hour, and I knocked it off the counter.
Shameful, just shameful. So shameful.
We vanished from the kingdom now.
She shouldn't be Snow White.
Many tears were shed.
Maleficent would be more.
Many tears were shed.
Got a warranty on it?
Your husband.
Shameful.
Does he have a warranty on it?
It was a Kickstarter.
Seriously shameful.
And talking about tools, you have tools for the cosplay builds. A hot glue gun, you can run like $13.
Heat gun. Heat gun is so foam.
Yeah, hot air
We'll need
gun.
that. Get those different shit.
Dremel tool, it makes a big difference. Sewing machine, they go for about $148. Wood burning tool, they're pretty cheap, about $20 for wood burning tool. So there's no sections of shirt left. Then they cut it down the back, and I put a couple of cardboard boxes in there because I just got a little bit more than the foam I could use. So I filled it up with foam. The spray foam, it's in Walmart, and it's a red and orange, a red and yellow can. And it's called spray foam, and it's in the paint aisle of Walmart. You fill it up with that, and then close it, close back, and close up any end pieces. Like I brought mine all the way up over the neck, and I cut off arms, but like I was talking to John, he made one with the arms on it and legs, and that's a lot better. I don't know, did you do arms and legs at the same time as the?
Yeah, I wrapped mine. I had the entire body wrapped in duct tape and then get cut out.
That sounds like a chicken wire. To provide support structure after I wrap myself.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there's multiple ways you can do it. The way I did it is I made an interior skeleton using PVC pipe, and just I stuffed it with paper, and you make the hips and then the shoulders, and then when you put it on there, it all sets on there on its own.
That's a good idea.
That'd be good for
It
like
helps a lot.
furries trying to, I guess it'd be good for any kind of costume.
Yeah,
It works for any kind of
Yeah.
costume. It's basically a
Yeah,
But she ends up using like her clothes.
Mannequin of
She
your
just wears like a blonde underwear.
Right.
She saran wraps herself and then that's what
Ah. Oh, that's good. Train ride.
yeah, saran wrap is another way.
Do not duct tape your skin.
make sure you are wearing old clothes
Yeah.
and wear your clothes that you don't want to get cut under the old clothes so it can stick to the old clothes.
That's right.
Yeah. You don't want to
yeah.
cut your
Yeah.
good clothes up.
Or cut
And
yourself.
you came up with a great way to make the PVC stands.
I didn't come up with it. It's actually a video that many YouTubers, you can find it on YouTube. It is not my own original idea, but there are videos on YouTube that show you how to do it. It is not my original idea.
Good to clarify.
Okay, and like I was saying, you
Good
just
to clarify.
draw out your character. You can even color it, but that really doesn't make a whole lot of. If you're going to color it the way you're going to color it, I mean, you're going to have to paint it if you're doing armor.
Or use a reference
Steampunk is
picture.
pretty easy. Just in Walmart in the center section in the crafts aisle, they have metallic paint. and you can just rub the metallic paint on even fabric,
Make it
and it'll
shiny.
make it look metally. I don't know if that's a word, metally.
Metallic.
Metallic.
Yeah, metallic.
I like the talent better.
Mentality.
And find sources, like find other people that do it and talk to them, find out how they do it, and watch a lot of YouTube videos.
YouTube is the best.
Oh yeah.
And like I was saying with the patterns,
Yeah.
at the end of the YouTube video in the remarks section, they have patterns there that you can print out on a lot of the good ones.
Oh, it's the speakers.
It's the speakers. Okay. Speakers.
Oh, it might.
Try to reference your builds and the names of people when appropriate when you build things. Like the armor at the end there, I did from Andrew NFT.
Andrew DFT.
DFT.
He's a YouTuber that does cosplays and different things. He has a lot of good tutorials if you want to watch. He does a lot of good beginner stuff. He goes through a lot of the steps, each step by step, very clearly, concise. So he's a good person to watch if you're trying to look to do any like beginner cosplays.
And his patterns go from child size to adult, so it's nice to be able to adjust the sizes. He tells you in there where to adjust the sizes if you need to. Woodworking. This is a wood skeleton and then foam on top of it. That gun sword down there is wood, the majority of it. Weight? I'd say about 20 pounds. You can pick it up and
The scythe is not heavy. The scythe can be
Is
lighter.
that all wood, or did you say it was metal and?
it's wood, PVC pipe,
Chair leg.
Chair leg?
it's a double barrel shotgun
Stuff in there.
pirate sword. That's the second one. The first one had a much shorter.
First one broke. Did you say?
And again, with that, it's good to draw that out ahead of time. Did you do that off a pattern?
So I made that myself. I made my own template for that.
Okay. Made your own.
Yeah, it's all made of EVA foam minus the PVC pipe for the handle.
That's it's really light.
How far does this go from there?
Only very sturdy.
And this is made out
Middle school? Young kid.
The actual sword is supposed to be bigger than that, but the print came out the wrong size, and I didn't have enough time to go back and get it done the right way, so I just made it that size for the time being. I redo that sword.
That's still really. I was thinking about
Oh, really?
Rose quartz exclusive.
Oh, okay.
And this is made out of PVC pipe, and then a little bit of foam for the structure on here. And anybody not know where to get PVC pipe from? You know where?
Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store really.
Yeah, Ace.
No. Not all.
No, that's
I like some foam.
the end of a curtain rod. And I put some glue on the bottom so it doesn't,
Wow, that's
so
really
it stays in one place.
So how are you cutting, this may sound like a stupid question, but like, what tools are you using to cut? I noticed you've got really nice things at the top, you know,
That was an hacksaw,
okay,
which is
really?
a thin bladed saw that's open.
Wow,
That's usually what I cut that with.
okay.
You ever use one?
Oh, no. Not
You know
recently.
anybody with one that?
Well, my husband, he has stuff,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They're pretty cheap. Hacksaws aren't very expensive.
Yeah, they got really fine teeth. Well, it depends on the blade, but you can get one with really fine teeth that won't
Some
some jagged edges.
some rotary tools also come with cutting pieces. My Dremel comes with a little cutting blade. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Dremel is one of the best things you can get.
Your Dremel is going to be your heat gun and your Dremel are going to be your best friend. They work with a lot of EVA foam and stuff, and sandpaper for sure.
And barge cement.
Yeah, barge contact cement.
Yeah, it's like contact cement. but
It's
stronger.
much stronger. It adheres much faster.
And E6000 is another good one. The E6000 you can hold like glass and plastic and wood. It doesn't work well with fabric. Fabric I'd use large cement with. And the same thing with foam. If you want something to stay together really quickly, you can use the barge cement. It contacts a lot quicker than E6000.
How do you spell that again? I just want to know.
Barge, B-A-R-G,
Okay, like the boat you said, barge.
cement.
What character are you going to cosplay?
I don't know, I'm just getting ideas. We do lots of different stuff. He wants to get into making the weapons and stuff, and we've never attempted making weapons, other than, you know, basic stuff.
If you do use barge contact to make sure you're in like a well-ventilated area because the fumes are toxic.
Okay, thanks for saying that.
And if you want something that's cosplay,
Yeah, that's, we got the card, yeah, we got it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, I have 3. You can get contact lenses that make your eyes a different color, but be careful by the medical grade, because the cheap ones can mess up your eyes and you only have one pair of eyes.
you have one pair of eyes.
So,
I mean, I got 2 eyes, so.
So in conclusion, when you costume, some cosplayers often seem to adopt the correct mannerisms and body language of the characters they portray. The most popular form of presenting the cosplay publicity is wearing it to a convention. Multiple conventions dedicated to anime and manga, comics, TV shows, video games, science fiction, and fantasy can be found around the world and a lot in this area. Taiwan Comic-Con is coming up. Right now, the tickets for that is only $35.
35, 2 days.
What, the next 2 days?
No, last year it was 45. That was because it was 3 days. Last year it was 3 days.
They cut off Friday.
Oh,
I don't know why though.
Cut off this week.
Friday and Saturday are most popular days.
And you better get
25
there
for
early.
one day,
Parking,
I
it took
think.
us 45 minutes to park last year.
Yeah,
Definitely get
Parking
there
was a
early.
bear.
if you got somebody to drive you and drop you off, it's good.
Yeah, that's much better.
But if you have a car that you want to do stuff in.
Trying to get there bright and early.
Get there early, get a good spot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get there when you still see the vendors setting up. That's what you want to do.
But there's a lot of other places that have conventions as well. Like this one, there's other library conventions. Xenos has a, we usually go there. Yeah,
Yes. Here, she's at his best
I think his anniversary in August.
okay. August. We'll have those up on the Taiwan Cosplay group on the events section. You can stop by the booth out here at the Taiwan Cosplay group and pick up a business card, and then go to the Facebook page, and on Facebook it has the events section, and we have everything on there for events. You want to add?
Going on what he said, the Taiwan cosplayers, I just met them here in the last year. Daniel and his family and this group is awesome. The Taiwan Alliance is who I represent. We're actually multi-genre, so we kind of travel around and do a lot of the events too. I can tell you it's a big, huge community. The little small cons, I think, are probably one of my favorites because they're more personal and you get to know people a lot better. The bigger cons, yeah, it's a lot of, sometimes it can be a lot of money involved when you go to them. They want to charge you for going in and everything.
It's fast paced.
And it's fast paced. But as far as cosplaying is concerned, the cosplayers, Taiwan cosplayers, is probably one of the best multi-genre that I've seen. And I've been doing cosplaying for over 10, 15 years now. And I'm part of the Rebel Legion, which is a more of a sci-fi type of group. But by watching Daniel and his family and everything, I've learned quite a bit. So I should really say, stop by the table and see what they got to offer. Don't be a stranger, stop by us too.
You can never underestimate having multiple people to bounce ideas off of. And it's never a bad idea to have have people that will review their stuff. It's always great.
And we're a free group.
Helping hands are always wonderful.
We're a free group. We don't charge anything to do it. We'll help you out with your costumes, whatever we're trying to do. You buy all the pieces and parts, and we'll help you put it together.
Hi, I have City Earth Comics over here. I'm trying to get the first float dedicated to a comic book company in the Grand Illumination Parade. So I'll look for my my GoFundMe. We're going to raise money to get this float built, and people will cosplay my characters on the float for the Grand Illumination Parade. So look for it coming up.
When is it?
It's for this year for the Grand Illumination Parade.
Okay.
When Christmas comes around, Thanksgiving. So I'm going to see if I can get the Kickstarter on the GoFundMe ready like in summertime.
Alright.
Any questions?
Questions, thoughts, comments?
Oh.
Anything?
Right there in the blue shirt, she had a question right there, like blue shirt back. She's on
the edge of her seat.
Yep, she's like she's bursting this ass.
Alright. Well then that concludes.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's been one of your favorite outfits to make and do? All of you.
Right here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, be the City Earth guy.
Yeah. What about you?
The Jedi have seen smiles. It has seen sadness. I was in a funeral, and but it's more than an honor to wear this Jedi costume, and has made great friends and family. So it's probably not my #1 costume as of right now.
I have a feeling that my rose quartz one is going to be my favorite. It's still a work in progress, but I don't count this one. I didn't really have much of a say in this because I work here and it was kind of assigned to me, but I have embraced it wholeheartedly.
Customized the sleeves.
Yes, I did, and I bought the wig by myself. They chose this one for me because of my personality. But yes, it was a very good match. But my favorite that I've done so far would be Linda Belcher from Bob's Burgers.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby.
What about you?
I started doing steampunk, so I really like the steampunk Aquaman. I think that's my favorite. But I was just over here with the Halo costume.
Master Chief.
And I've done Ida for My Hero Academia.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Aizawa.
Jet from
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
Aizawa. That one doesn't count.
Well, I think that's about it.
You've done a couple other ones, but I don't remember them specifically. Aizawa, the teacher.
Any other questions?
And thus concludes our panel. Thank you.